Okay, ladies and gents, welcome along to FTRL for the final time this season. We're here tonight for Division 2 for round 12 of the Championship at the Paul Ricard circuit in France. Joining me this evening is not Panda for once. We actually have Joe Burns and we have Pagani, who's making a rare appearance in the commentary box. How are we doing, boys?
Not too bad, you?
Not too bad, mate. Pagani, how are you?
Oh, not the fault being back in the box.
Yeah.
First time since early season.
I know, it's nice to have you back in here, mate. Very nice indeed. So, not the best turnout tonight, only 13. Unfortunately, we've got about 3 or 4 of the guys that couldn't make it due to work commitments and various other reasons, but I think at this stage of the season, it's not too much to play for some of these guys, which is a shame, but on the other hand, it's just one of those things. So, nevertheless, I'm sure the lads will make the best of what we've got, and we'll crack on. So, plenty of things to discuss for the final race of the season tonight. We can have 3 possible people win the championship, although it's going to be quite an ask to get past Cress. We'll go through that very, very soon. We actually have a battle between Tim 12 and Matt Cause for the final podium, the promotion spot, should I say. And we have a very intense battle between Goy Carp and Agent Panda, which we'll be keeping a very close eye on indeed. So, as we can see, we've got a wet quali. Yeah, I see Goy in the background not having the best time. But yeah, so boys, first of all, a couple of words on this season, if you don't mind. Whoever would like to go first.
Go first, since he's been commentating on it.
Very entertaining, extremely close. I'm looking forward to watching a few battles out on track. In the final race, still, like I say, a lot to play for. Yeah, it's been a great season. Hopefully next season can be a lot sort of more like this one.
Yeah, exactly. Pagani, I know you've been watching pretty much every single race. What's stood out to you this season, mate?
At the start of the season, I was worried because it looked like it was going to be a Tim Tenaire. He was going to go off and win every race. He had a stonking start of the season, but then everyone else sort of caught up, and it's made it a pleasure to watch. It's like wherever you look, there's going to be a battle on track. It's definitely something to catch the eye. I mean, even Goy. Oh, sorry, Goy. I didn't mean to jinx you. I've got involved with Goy. I was talking with him and he hit the wall. But no, the Goy and Panda rivalry is where it's at the moment, I'm afraid.
Yeah, exactly. Right, well, just to give people a ever so slight view on what the proceedings are and the permutations are for the championship. At the moment, at the top of the standings, and the only driver officially confirmed as promoted is Cress on 149 points. After his win in Italy last week. Raver's Revenge is currently in second, there's 19 points behind him. So basically Raver's Revenge needs Cress to come, I think it's 7th or worse tonight, and Ravers has to win the race to have any chance of winning. The only reason why Ravers would then take it is just by basically better finishes. They both won 3 races this season, and actually if Ravers wins, Ravers will take the championship if Cress comes 7th or less due to the amount of race wins. So Chicken Guy is 3 points behind Ravers on 127, so again he's 22 points behind Cress, so he can only take a win, but with 5 second places to his name and no race wins, it's wondering whether that trend's going to continue. And then the battle for the last promotion spot is actually between Matt Cause and Tim 12. Tim Tenaire unfortunately can't be promoted this season due to other commitments, but I'm sure he'll be up there fighting for promotion for next season. But at the moment Matt Cause is 20 points ahead of Tim 12, so again Tim 12 needs to win the race tonight and needs Matt Cause to come basically 8th or lower to go up. And right on cue, he's taken pole for 145.2, so he's got a good pace round here, Tim. But then it all depends on Matt Cause, who has actually retired from the session, so he'll be starting from the back. And then the other highly anticipated battle between Goy Carp and Agent Panda. Goy Carp on 3 points for the season, Agent Panda on 4. Only 13 drivers racing tonight, so a couple of retirements could see both of them get into the points. So just a matter of who finishes higher out of the 2, I think, tonight. So what do we think, guys? I'm going to put you on the spot now and say, what do you think is going to happen tonight?
Um, I think Cress will get the championship. I don't think anybody can outscore him. And like you say, a few of the guys might get the win, but I think Cress will finish too high for them to catch him. I think Cress is a real good driver.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
Tim 12, I think, again, like you say, he's got to win the race. His pace is looking good at the moment, but again, anything can happen. I don't quite think he'll get there, because again, Matt Core only needs to finish in, top 8, and I think he's more than quick enough to do that, so I think it's going to be quite difficult for him.
Yeah, well, it's there's certainly a lot to it. Pagani, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think there's going to be any surprises, or do you think Cress is going to win it?
From recent reports, Cress is actually still under the weather, so I mean, he should still have the pace to get points, but I think there's at least 2 drivers just gunning solely for the win, and that's Tim 12 and Ravers.
Yeah.
So I think that battle is going to be highly anticipated through, and I mean, they're both very good drivers, so...
Yeah, well, I'm going to put it out there and say that I think personally that Cress will win the championship, because I reckon CJ is going to win the race tonight, personally. He's had 2 races so far, and I think he's come, 2nd and 3rd. So he came 2nd in Canada and 3rd in Italy. He did actually cross the line in 1st in Italy, but he lost out due to penalties. So I do think he's going to pick up the race win tonight. But all in good time. I'm wondering what the weather conditions are going to be like for the race. It doesn't look like people have got the most stable of cars at the moment, so I can only think that they're racing on a dry setup in qualifying, so I'm not too sure what's
City
going
Porsche
on.
has gone out without a setup, so he's not currently in the best setup at the moment.
Yes, it must be said those. Yeah, City Porsche basically moved to a wheel last week, so I can't imagine he will have the best of times at the moment, but Chicken Guy goes P2, but at the moment Tim 12 looks head and shoulders above the rest of the field. But then it's down to him whether he can keep it. He's been massively inconsistent this season, picked up a few race wins and picked up quite a few DNFs as well, so what will be will be.
The one thing we need to look out for in the race as well, which caught a few of the Div 1 drivers out, is the pit limiter. I think it's 37 around here, or 38 instead of 50, so that might throw up a few penalties in the race as well if guys aren't watching that.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a weird pit entry, isn't it? Because it's like halfway down the pit straight.
CJ has gone past the pit lane. Is that the reverse to get back in the pits?
Right, there we go. It's like halfway down the start-finish straight.
Right on cue.
So it doesn't really make sense. And there's that annoying beeping sound from the pit stop as well, which is really, really annoying from the pit lane.
Yeah,
sorry.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
I think it's just like an alert to say when a driver's leaving his garage or something. It's something like that, but it's very, very irritating.
I think it's whenever a car enters pit lane.
Oh, is it when a car enters the pit lane? Right.
At British tracks like Croft and that, whenever a car enters pit lane, there's a siren goes off to let anybody know in pit lane because there's a car coming down.
Right. Okay.
Fair enough.
So I'm just going to check the comments in the stream and see what is going on. We've got 14 people watching at the minute, so thank you all very much. And Michael C's made an appearance into the stream. Welcome back, mate. Nice to see you. Dale's here as well. A few of the old drivers coming in. Plexix is in, saying Panda's in, saying Goy's all over the place. Tell saying good luck to all watching from work while stuffing his face with pasta. Plexix is saying Tim 12 wins if the race is dry. CJ second, Ravers third. Dutch is in, saying hi guys, and Plexix is still looking for a teammate. So that's what we've got so far. But yeah, so that's one thing we need to consider, lads, is after this race we'll be opening up to all of the drivers to put forward their teammate selections for the new season, so plenty of things to go over at some stage.
Yeah, really intrigued as to how that'll shape up next season. I think yeah, it's gonna be very interesting to see who picks who. especially when you think of the champions and who's going up and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be brilliant next season, and I think also it provides that kind of cutting edge as well on the constructors. That people are going to want to do better, given the fact that maybe they've got a good friend of theirs or someone that they're very, very closely paced with in the constructors. It kind of gives them that extra bit of motivation to do well and to try and outscore their teammate. Or also, some people might just focus on the constructors as a whole. So there's a lot of things to consider, a lot of things to look at. So only time will tell what will happen. But
well, it looks like Agent Panda has just gone out of the garage. Oh god, he's nearly went into a wall, but it reset him back on the track. Found himself extremely lucky there.
Well, I'm just going to say this: if it's a dry race, I think we should have a look out for the preheated oven. He's he's actually pretty good around France.
He's quicker than me, which doesn't say much, but
Well, Pagani, this is some of your competition for next season. Obviously, moving down to Div 2.
yeah,
How do you think you're going to get on in Div 2, mate?
I'm hoping to break into the battle between Goy and Agent Panda and try and mix it up a bit.
Oh, preheated oven's lost a wheel, so right on cue. He took too much speed.
Commentator's curse.
Yeah, sorry about that, mate. Let's go and see what Agent Panda's up to. So I'm going to put you boys on the spot now. Obviously before the race starts, but give us your opinion on, like a serious opinion, rather than just saying Goy or Agent Panda. Who would be your driver of the season for Div 2? I know Pagani's probably got a bit more knowledge about it than what you have, Joe, obviously with the fact that you've only joined halfway through this season, but I mean, if there's anybody that's caught your eye in particular, and obviously Pagani, I'd be keen to know what yours is. I mean, there's a lot of candidates for it, it must be said.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I'd probably say Tim 12. Although he's struggled in a few of the races, you can clearly say his pace is there. I think he's just got a little bit unlucky. But yeah, he's definitely been a really good driver since I've been here. Yeah. But like you say, there's a lot of drivers there that could probably all get that.
Yeah, there really is. What would you say, Pagani? Is there anybody that stands out to you?
It's very difficult to overlook Cress. However, I'd say Chicken Guy.
Yeah.
The consistency he's shown all season is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's either been second or third.
Yeah. He's been fantastic, he really has. I mean, Cress is the only driver that's finished every single race inside the points across both divisions. So, I mean, that is a huge kind of accolade in itself. Just shows how much of a good, consistent driver he is.
He's decided he doesn't want to drive on the track anymore. Sorry to interrupt.
I personally would give mine to Matt Cause, purely on the basis that Matt Cause has been in the league for a long time. I know he's just DNF'd out of quali, but I mean, if anybody said at the start of the season that Matt Cause was going to be basically heading for promotion into the final race of the season, I mean, I would have been quite surprised.
He's not doing donuts on the last corner.
Yeah, Goy's doing donuts.
Yeah.
He's obviously feeling confident against the battle with Agent Panda today.
Yeah, he really is. But no, I would definitely give mine to Matt Cause for the reasons, like I said, he's completely changed his driving style, putting a lot of practice and taking it a lot more seriously this season, and it's paid off. So I really do wish him well for this. Obviously, we don't have any favourites at all, but given the fact that Matt Cause has been here for a long time and the difference that he's made, I mean, it would be brilliant to see him go up because all of the hard work has paid off. So I would personally give him that. Looking into the stream chat, Chulo's come in as well. I've seen a lot of old faces here tonight. Chulo, Michael C, Dale. How are we all doing, lads? Pop a message in, let us know how you're getting on. It's nice of you to join in, so thank you very much for the season finale. Like we said earlier on, not the best turnout tonight, the worst turnout we've had all season, but final race of the season for Div 2. A lot of other commitments can't really be helped, especially at this time of the year, leading up to Christmas.
Agent Panda has just stayed his claim and gone above Guy Carp.
Oh, massive. Well, only 2 minutes left. Chicken Guy's got a lot closer to Tim 12, it must be said.
Very quick time.
It is a good time. At the minute, he's about half a tenth down on his time, so... Can he sneak pole? I mean, Tim 12's gone out for an out lap. But I'm just wondering what the weather's going to be like for this race. I'm pleased that nobody's told us yet. Chulo, can't wait for
please,
Christmas
if any drivers are in the chat, please don't put it in the chat, because we'd like it to be a surprise.
Exactly. I mean, I'm going to say that I reckon it's going to be a dry race, because I don't think these guys have got wet setups on.
I mean, if it is, it would have been. It's exactly the same as the Div 1 race, wet quali and dry race.
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you're well, Michael. Nice to see you back here, mate. Really appreciate you tuning in. And it's just a shame that we haven't got that many drivers tonight. Like I said, I mean, Div 2 has been brilliant. We've had, 18, 19 drivers pretty much every single week. So, bit of a shame, but nevertheless. But right, guys, let us know what you think. I know a couple of you have already, but people watching, what do you reckon the podium's going to be tonight? In first, second and third in order. Let us know. Chicken Guy's gone pole. I thought he might do it.
What a time.
He has. He's done well. CJ snuck up there. Willie Tix has put in a good lap, as has Blue Flag. City Posh has retired. 147.0. So same sort of time as Bendel. I think Chicken Guy's going for another lap as well. So he's really putting those tyres to use, isn't he? Although his battery's quite low, so he might suffer a little bit as the lap goes on. Well, considering the conditions, Chicken Guy is controlling his car very, very nicely. Touch wood. Some of these corners around France are very, very difficult, especially in wet weather. There's a lot of sort of fast little kinks in the straights and stuff like that. But I think, CJ's now snuck up even closer as well.
I was on board with CJ for that lap, and he was struggling for traction out of almost every corner. I know he's a no traction user, but that would suggest a major SL.
Yeah. Those Ravers won't be too happy at the moment, down in P7, especially when he really, really needs to win this race. Yeah, he pushed himself up to P5, 145.3, but he's still over a second away from pole. But I mean, you never know. Like I said, some of these guys might have put a wet setup on to get a better qualifying. I mean, you just never know, do you? In a situation, obviously, wet weather does throw up a lot of spread times.
I was just caught the Virgin Panda and he was facing the wrong way. A big part of the track I wasn't familiar with.
Yeah, probably not the best. Bendel's half a second down on his time at the moment as he's coming into the final sector.
Tim 12 has just come around the final corner.
Yeah, Bendel corner
quick
cut,
at the minute.
Who's this? Tim 12. Wow, Chicken Guy's got pole. So there we go.
Great time.
Good. I'm pleased you're better, Dale. Yeah, Michael's asking how we all are. I'm very well, mate. I don't think.
Good, thank you.
Yeah, Joe, I don't think you would have met Michael. He's an old admin. He was here for a very, very long time in FTRL. It was a shame to see him go, as was Dale. So, yeah, I'm pleased you're okay, Dale. But anyway, right, I think that's qualifying finished. So we have got Chicken Guy getting a pole position. Tim 12 alongside him in second place. CJ in third. Cress is in fourth. I believe Ravers was in fifth. And we'll run through the rest of the standings in just a second, as we are getting ready for lights out for the final race of FTRL Season 7. And if it's anything like the rest of the season, it should be an absolute thriller. So yeah, so just finishing that off then, Willie Tix in 6th, Blue Flag in 7th. A lot of guys sporting the Israeli flag tonight, and a few of the guys supporting the other red one, which are, you know. City Posh in 8th, Bendel in 9th, Preheated Oven in 10th, and then Agent Panda 11th, Goy Carp 12th, and Matt Cause 13th. I imagine Matt Cause will get past Goy and Agent Panda fairly quickly, as I don't think they're going to really battle at the start. They tend to let people go by. So yeah, just to run you through it very, very quickly, we have got Chicken Guy, Ravers and Tim 12 all desperately needing a win tonight to have some form of a chance at either a title or a promotion. Crest basically needs to finish 7th or 6th, and he's won the championship. Matt Cause needs to finish 7th or better to secure promotion. So basically keep an eye out for those that are winning and those that are kind of 7th. those are your real kind of cut-off points. But yeah, it looks like a dry race. Doesn't look like there's too many clouds in the sky. It's very, very bright and sunny. So, as we expected, a dry race in France. Now, do either of you fancy taking us through the formation lap? I know it's normally Will's thing, but
I think Joe should. He's got experience.
yeah, go on, Joe. Give it a go, mate.
Oh no,
Come on.
I'm not great.
That's all right.
You can't take it away from Will.
Neither's Will. So. Give it your best, Joe.
Right, here we go then. Okay, so Chicken Guy with a pole. You say he needs a win tonight to have any chance of the championship. Same with second place man Tim 12. Got CJ Payne in third. As Aaron said, he's been quite impressive since joining the league with 2 podiums. Yeah, I think he's got a great chance of getting a win tonight. You got championship favourite Cress in fourth. As Aaron said, needs top 8 in order to confirm championship. Put an end to a great season he's had. Another man needing a win is in fifth, just under a second off the pole time. So Ravens, I'm sure, will be hoping for a little bit more in the race. I know he said he likes changeable conditions. It doesn't look like it's going to rain, so I'm sure he'll be hoping for a safety car or something like that. Willie Tix was actually quite an impressive 6th place. I don't remember seeing him this high in quality before. I may be mistaken, but looks like a pretty good showing from him. Div 2 admin, Blue Flag in 7th, City Posh 8th in the other Ferrari. And you got Bendel in 9th, Preheated Oven in 10th. And then you've got the mighty battle of Agent Panda in 11th and Goikarp in 12th. With another sort of promotion favourite, Matt Cause. Again, only needs top 7, top 8 finish to get that promotion sealed. So I'm sure he'll be looking to fight his way through the pack.
Lovely stuff indeed, mate. Nicely done indeed. So I'm just having a quick look at the tyre compound choices. And pretty much it is split down the middle. So we've got 7 drivers on Super Softs, which is CJ, Ravers, Willie Tix and Blue Flag. And then you've got Agent Panda, Goikarp and Matt Cause also on the Supers. And then on the Softs you've got Chicken Guy, Tim 12, Cress, City Posh, Bendel, Preheated Oven. And that is all of them on the soft tyres. We are getting ready for lights out for the final time this season.
It's quite a surprise to see the guys that need to win the race starting on the softs. You'd think you'd want to be faster at the end of the race.
Yeah. Well, nevertheless, we are getting ready for lights out. We are 3, 4, 5 red lights in France. And for the final time of the season, it is lights out and away we go. I'm not too sure on the start so far, but it looks like Chicken Guy's had a very, very good start indeed. Ravens Avengers had an absolute flyer. He's got up the inside of Tim 12, as he no, Tim 12's gone outside of Chicken Guy, and he's taken the race lead. CJ's had a bit of a poor start. Crest is all over the back of Ravers, but a couple of the guys have. Willie Tix has gone. Big contact. Matt Call's already up to 9th place, so he's made up a few places already.
Flying. Oh, a little bar going on between Panda and Guy. And Guy's been pushed wide. Oh.
Yeah, we're going to
sign of things to come.
Going to keep a very close eye on this battle between Agent Panda and Goy tonight. But nevertheless, the field is forming. CJ having a look up the inside of Ravers, is he?
Simon trying to go on the outside of Cress.
Great move against Aston.
Yeah.
Oh, CJ going up the inside of Ravers.
Oh, this is a great battle. We'd hate for anything to any collisions to happen at this point in the season, but
great move by CJ. It's a really good place to overtake there. We saw a few moves in Div 1 into that corner. You just get such a good run out the chicane. Always a bit risky because it's such high pace, you can always lose the car if you run the curb. But yeah, I'm sure we'll see a few more moves up the inside of there tonight.
That's
Exactly.
experience because I only did 3 laps.
Exactly. Well, after Willie tips his spin, he's got no front left part of his wing, and he's very much struggling. But he is catching back up to Goy and Agent Panda. Matt Coles at the moment doing what he needs to do, just sitting in P9. I don't think you're going to see too much of a push from Matt Coles tonight. I think he'll get himself where he needs to be, and then he'll just sit there. I think that's all he really cares about this evening. But other than that, Ravers Avenge and CJ still very, very close. Ravers already used half of his battery on the first lap and a half of the race, so he's obviously looking for a big push. I know he said it's not one of his strongest circuits, France, but I imagine we're going to see quite a few penalties tonight as well, so they could come into effect come the end of the race. Yeah, a lot of guys in the stream discussing the people's strategies at the start.
There's Ravers.
Yeah, Ravers, CJ covers him. He's not just fast, is CJ, he's also a very, very good defensive driver. Goy Karp's gone.
He's out.
Goy
He
Karp
was
has
having
gone.
a few troubles with that corner in quali, but
So that puts an end to the Agent Panda Goy Kart battle for the season, and Agent Panda has prevailed. And I can exclusively reveal that they are going to be teammates for the new season as well. So that's certainly one to keep an eye on. But Chicken Guy staying within touching distance to Tim 12, who's had a good start to the race. But not really too much happening at the moment. The guys are just kind of finding their feet. Matt Cross has got past Bendel, so he's up to 8th. All he's got to do now is find his way past one more of the drivers ahead of him, and he just stay in position. Preheated ovens next on his radar. Anything caught your eye so far, boys?
I've just been staying on board with this battle between Ravers and CJ. It's the closest battle on track at the moment, other than Willie Tix being right behind Agent Panda. But this one obviously quite important in the championship run. And CJ at the moment is defending really well. He can't really complain. But Ravers looks like he's got the run. Like I say, out that chicane, you can just get such a run out of there. And you got another move this time around the outside. Oh God, CJ's gone.
I was watching them go side by side for that fast right, and it looked like Ravers had the outside line, and I think CJ might have come over a little bit too much, which caught the front of his car. And it
I mean, like I mentioned before, going over that curb can really unsettle the car, and I think CJ probably just took too much curb. He's not out of the race though.
No, it's
Doesn't
not.
wing damage.
Yeah, he's got wing damage, and it's massively dented his chances. Are we going to see CJ pop into the pits? We are. So I think that's his first mistake of the season, I think, and it's come in the final race. Yeah,
Unfortunate.
that was scary. There's a few people commenting on that, but yeah, I'm not too sure. Matt Coles just picked up a 3-second time penalty. He doesn't really need to get many of those. The team doesn't want to get many of those, should I say, but what that has done has allowed Ravers to basically drive on his own at the moment. He's out. Simon's out of DRS range from him, and he's nearly 3 seconds behind this battle for the lead between Tim and Chicken Guy, which is proving to be quite an exciting battle so far. Chicken Guy looks hungry for that race win, but at the moment it wouldn't be enough to seal in the championship because Cress is sitting in P5. Nice to
I think
see Simon
CJ's
up
going to really
towards-
struggle to get top 5 now. I think his target is probably going to be like 5th to 8th, because
Yeah.
if he can't take those softs all the way to the end, which I mean I don't think he can, he'd have to take them like an extra 7 or 8 laps than what you normally would do.
Yeah.
So even if he can get to the end, it's going to be, you know, extremely slow at that point.
Yeah, he's going to be incredibly slow. Unfortunate to see. People saying it like desynced. I don't think it did. I mean, it looked from a broadcast point of view like CJ might have just lost a little bit of traction. I mean, there might have been more to it than that. One thing I do want to say in advance is the fact that Chicken Guy is extremely good with his tyres, and he's also very, very good at managing his ERS. So that's one of the key factors. as to how he's had
Yeah,
such
I mean,
a good
when you look
season.
at Tim 12 on 45%, King guys on 80.
Has got a second time penalty. I'm only on lap 5.
Well, Simons goes up the Rivers, and Rivers has lost time for the 2 and 4.
Yeah. Yeah, I know Raver said it was not one of his stronger tracks. But at the moment, as things stand, Matt Cause would seal promotion from Tim 12 by 1 point. If Matt Cause stays in 7th and if Tim 12 stays at the front of this race. If Tim 12 doesn't win, then Matt Cause is promoted. Dutch saying he thinks CJ just lost it. It's good to see some of the Div 1 guys tuning in for the race. Much appreciated, lads.
Yeah.
You know, we've got a nice little train forming behind Ravers between him, Blue Flag and Cress.
Matt Claus up inside for 811.
Ravers has gone wide, going side by side with Blue Flag. Lovely bit of driving.
Yeah, that's a
from
big
those
move
two.
for Matt Cause, though.
That's a lovely move from Simon. Really, really, really nice move. Yeah, Matt Cause got that move done. But what he needs to do now is focus on not getting any more penalties because he's already got 2. And I've not seen too many of them flash up. We've got 24 people watching the race at the moment, which is fantastic.
A lot of these guys that he's fighting as well on the softs are all going to be on quicker tyres at the end of the race, so
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I say he really needs to be careful.
Yeah, I think the super softs are going to start to wear off within the next couple of laps. I think normally it's around lap 9 or 10 you would pit from the supers, but then again they will be fresh. But I imagine in a few laps time we're going to see some stops. Chicken Guy's got basically a full battery. Tim 12 has got 40%. So I think and he doesn't tend to get penalties either, Chicken Guy. I think he was the only driver on track to not get a penalty in Monza last week. Right. Dutch is saying he thinks Ravers might have some damage.
I mean, he has fallen back 2 places, but I think CJ hit the back of his car though. I think he is like right
Yeah,
rear
right
tyre.
rear.
So I mean, it would have been very weird.
Doesn't
in
look
order
like
for
he
him to
does.
get wing damage.
Just think he might be struggling a bit for some pace. Like I said, he's very low on the battery front as well. But I mean, we can announce obviously with the fact that Tim Tonnerre's not racing tonight that Ravers and Cress will be Division 1 drivers next season. So I think all they had to play for tonight was the championship title, which was always going to be an ask, especially with Cress being so far ahead with 1 race to go. City Posh driving better tonight. He's obviously found his feet with his wheel, which is nice to see. Matt Cause has now joined this party. So yeah, still a lot to play for in this race.
Still quite a few battles going on the track,
Yeah,
which
it
is nice
is.
to see.
It's quite nice to see. Obviously, we're about a quarter of the way through the race now, and still a lot of the guys pretty much within DRS range of each other. So that's always pretty nice to see. I imagine quite a few of these will be in a party together as well.
I've been watching Tim 12 for the last couple of laps, and he seems to really pull out from sector 3 and the start of the sector 1. But because obviously Chicken Guy is staying in that DRS up the straight, it's just he just can't pull away quite enough to get out of DRS.
Yeah. Some border ravers. He just doesn't seem to have the straight line speed, to be honest with you. Simon's run a little bit wide. But I think the key parts of the race will be at the end of the first stint for these drivers and right towards the end when those tyres start to... the tyre carcasses really start to heat up and obviously the wear becomes quite poor for some of them, and I think CJ's he's going to struggle tonight to find himself in any form of good position after his his big incident with Ravers. I can't see it coming into the steward's office though. It did look like just a bit of a racing incident. These things can happen. But yeah, this is getting very, very close. Ravers right on the back of Blue Flag. Matt Cause, 3rd penalty of the evening. That could be massive. Willie Six got another penalty.
I've been watching Rivers do the fast right-hander, and I think he's opposite the lock already. And his tyres
Yeah,
he's
sliding all over the place.
Yeah, I just don't think it's very nice on the tyres. Like I said, it's one of those tracks where the tyre temps can get very, very high quickly.
Yeah.
Agent Panda, 3-second time penalty.
Overheating the tyre.
Marco's right behind him now.
Yeah, I know, this is a very, very intense battle.
Got to hand it to Team 12 and Chicken Guy though. Although they're fighting each other, they're pulling a huge gap to the guys behind, and they're on soft tyres.
Yeah, they really
They're
are.
just in a league of their own at the minute.
They are. So this is the sort of thing that Team 12 can do. He's just not done that over the course of the season. He's either been right at the top, or he's been either out or outside the points. He's not really had any sort of 5th or 6th place finishes. It's just been one extreme to the other. We could potentially see a move from Ravers here. No, calls out, thinks more of it. He'll have to do well to get past blue flag as well. A very good defensive driver.
You just see Ravers' card off through those first couple of corners, as Begani said. It looks so unstable. It looks like his tyres are just falling off a lot quicker than the guys around him, which is unfortunate to see.
Must be said, the preheated oven has 100% battery. Well, it did have a second ago. So maybe he's saving that, knowing that the guys ahead of him are all on super softs and they're going to have to pit soon. And then he might be using that to his advantage and then just try and pull away. He might be saving his tyres a little bit. Ravers, is he taking a look at Simon? No, Simon covers that off nicely. Matt Cause is entering the party.
Also, the preheated oven, they missed a couple of races. You actually remembers how to drive, don't you?
Yeah, must be said. He's well, he had an operation on his ACL, didn't he, in his knee? So
yeah.
Tim 12 starting to look a little bit slidey. Chicken Guy was only a tenth behind him a second ago, but he looks a lot more stable than what Tim 12 does at the moment. Tim 12 have a bit of a lock up. Both know assist users. I think the pit stops might be where this race is won or lost. But if you're Matt Cause in this situation, you're screaming for Tim 12, who are right on cue, picks up a time penalty. He's screaming for him to go and win this race. Oh, Matt Cause is close.
The sort of the way the sun is as well. I was saying it to Guy and Ravers before the race. Is the way that the sun is on turn 1. The further this race goes, it gets harder and harder to see turn 1 and turn 2. So I think you're going to be you're going to see a lot of time penalties, or at least warnings going over turn 1 towards the end of the race. I think because people just can't see see the corner.
It's some of these corners on this track. I mean, it's quite a technical circuit, so it is. I think, and that's proving to be the case, especially with how far Tim and Chicken are ahead. Matt Cause got his 4th penalty of the evening. He's got 12 seconds of penalties now.
Yeah, it's going to be big for him.
He just needs to calm down. If he gets himself disqualified, then he's praying on a miracle. Oh, Ravers is off.
Oh.
And Ravers has spun. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time to come in, Ravers. And I can't see him doing anything other than that at the end of this lap.
Yeah, I mean, I'd expect the super soft guys in within the next lap or so anyway. If not this one,
Yeah.
it's definitely the next one. Quite unfortunate for Ravers though.
Entirely sure that Ben does this.
Oh no! Matt Cause.
Oh!
I don't know what he did there. Simon was going to the pits and Matt Cause just drove into the back of Simon's car. I don't know what he did there, but he's lost both of his front wheels. So Matt Cause needs Chicken Guy to win this race. If Tim 12 wins this race, then Matt Cause is staying in Div 2.
That is big.
That is
Matt
huge.
Cause has had that pretty much done the whole season.
And I'm not, with all due respect to Matt, it was completely on him. Simon was quite clearly going into the pits, and I think Matt maybe just tried to stick behind him for some slipstream, and bang, just lost his rear right tyre. He should have just carried on doing what he was doing. He didn't need to do that. So as it stands, that is massive.
Huge.
It really, really is.
Really unfortunate.
Yeah,
he's had a really good season so far, and
I'm gutted for him.
all he needed to do was just secure a top 6. Don't do anything silly, and you've got promotion. And yeah, throwing it away, maybe.
Yeah. Wow. That is absolutely massive. Anyway, I've just seen CJ go past Agent Panda, and every single one of the guys on the grid at the moment, or on track should I say, other than Agent Panda, are on the soft tyres now. Ravers, Blue Flag and Willie Tix all came in that lap. Matt Cause, not too sure what he was doing, but well, very interesting. But must be said, preheated oven currently sitting in P4. I know he's yet to pit, but yeah, maybe there was a bit of desync between Blue Flag and Matt Cause then, but not the best situations. I wonder whether Blue Flag, he didn't hit the wall or anything, he didn't pick up any damage, but I thought maybe from that shunt it might have put him into the wall, but nevertheless, I know Tim 12's got at least one penalty. I'm not too sure about Chicken Guy, and I think at the moment whilst it's quiet I'm going to check. Yeah, Tim 12 has, okay, they've both got a penalty.
Oh, okay.
So as it stands, oh, yeah, they've both got the exact same. They've both got a penalty and one warning each. Well,
I think the reason Tim 12 and Chicken Guy are pulling away from Cress as well is probably because he knows all he has to do is secure that, like we were saying, top 7. And he's not getting pressured, he's not in a fight, there's no reason for him to push. He probably doesn't want, obviously, going to get penalties or anything like that, so he's probably just taking it as easy as he can.
Yeah.
Which is good. Nice to see he's got a sensible head on him. No reason for him to push at this point.
Exactly.
So, good
Exactly.
drive from him so far.
Yeah, indeed. Well, we know CJ's going to have to pit again. Well, I would imagine he's going to have to pit again. I can't see him taking those soft tyres 22 laps. I think we'll get a good reflection of how long they'll last by when the top 4 come into the pits, or top 6 should I say.
I think
I
you
mean,
get
you pit on like what,
16
like 4 I
or
think?
something,
Yeah.
from memory.
That's a long way to take those tyres.
Well, the pressure is on Tim 12 right now. He's got Chicken Guy right behind him, and he needs to win this race.
I mean, considering Chicken Guy's been behind him pretty much the whole race, he's looked quite comfortable. I mean, at no point does Chicken Guy look like he's in an overtaking sort of position. It's just stayed at that sort of half a second. Whether Chicken Guy's just waiting to get onto the supers and then start pushing. Playing it tactically.
Yeah, Rovers Revenge making a move on CJ now down the straight. DRS is open. CJ straight line speed looks good.
CJ came to the left a little bit, then I thought there was going to be more contact.
Yeah, good move from Rovers. I've got it done. City Posh.
Oh, let's hope we don't see an identical move. No, okay.
Yeah.
Too far back.
Well, Chicken Guy is still within, well, he's just fallen out of DRS range now. So that's going to be the last thing that Matt Cause wants to see. Maybe Chicken Guy had a slight wobble somewhere, but he certainly dropped off a few temps. Starting to slide a little bit now, yeah.
I mean, it's 13 laps on these tyres, so they won't be happy, obviously.
No. We'll start to see the loss of grip. Well, it wouldn't be a Div 2 race without some form of controversy, and it's happened again.
I mean, that's just why it's been so exciting all season, to be honest.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's still a nice battle between Rovers and CJ. They were battling from pretty much start to finish in Monza last week, so their respect is definitely there. But Rovers does look to be a little bit quicker at the moment, but I think that's probably due to the fact that his tyres are 7 years younger. 7 years, 7 laps.
I've got to say 7 years.
It's been a long season, leave me alone.
I wish my tyres lasted 7 years.
No, so do I. I might have won a race in Div 1, bloody hell.
I wouldn't go that far.
No, I wouldn't either. Something would have happened.
I might have lasted more than 3 laps in a race though.
Well, let's hope you can next season, mate. Anyway, we have got about 12 and a half laps to go of season 7, and I'm going to be keeping a very, very close eye on those penalties between the top 2. But Chicken Guy falling off a little bit now. I think if he pits a lap earlier than Tim 12, I imagine he'll probably get out ahead of him.
I'm sure he's thinking that.
Yeah,
Tim 12 definitely looks to be dealing with the sort of fall off of the tyre a lot better than Chicken Guy at the moment.
Yeah. Rose Avenge another time penalty. Yeah, I think that's his 2nd or 3rd of the evening. Do you guys have any news about season 8? Yes, but you'll find out on Friday. Plenty of news to come about season 8, but you'll have to wait for just a couple more days, mate. Right, I'm watching City Posh now. He's got DRS. He's going to take a look up the inside of Bendel. Going in at over 200 miles an hour. City Posh going to get the move done. Bendel gets a good exit there, but rides the curb. City Posh is going to go through. Job done.
Coming in for next season, all Dutch drivers that score points are automatically halved. So there's that one for you.
The top 2 have both pitted. So this is a straight out fight now to the end. Now, are they going to get
that's what
caught
Chicken
up
Guy was
here?
waiting for. Just do whatever Tim 12 does.
Well, interesting. If I was Chicken Guy, I would have maybe gone a lap later, just to have the 1 lap fresher tyres at the end. But
or stopped earlier.
yeah, well, I don't. If he stopped earlier, I think he would have been a sitting duck at the end. But he needs to have the best.
Fighting back against City Posh.
He needs to have like the best 12 laps of his season now. This Chicken Guy. Maybe you guys can finally win. Wow, Dutch. That's a way to get yourself in the good books, isn't it? Enjoy the penalties coming your way next season, mate. Just so you know, you're starting the first race of a qualifying ban. After that,
To be fair, it doesn't really matter to him. He'll win
no, it
anyhow.
doesn't. I must say. I think he spent about 3 or 4 of the races with a qualifying ban. Still got on the podium. So, but no, it must be said. I think any of these guys coming up are gonna have a real job on their hands trying to get anywhere close to drivers like Dutch. You two will vouch for me on that this season.
Bendel and Simon.
I know, they're all going at it now.
Bendel and Simon side by side to the fast right.
Well, Bendel's had a good run out there. City Posh has had a poor one. Bendel's going to try a little bit of a little mini switch. He did try it, but City Posh covered it. Yes, Dutch, what would you like, mate? Don't let me start. Yeah, that's a conversation for another day, my friend.
Dutch is getting cheeky. This championship's already gone to his head.
Yeah. Oh, that was close,
Bendel
wasn't it?
nearly hit the back of City Posh at the pits.
Rovers now having a look at Bendel. He's on Chicken Guy, second time penalty. There we go. Oh,
That's big.
that is big.
Might cause this probably smacking his head on something quite hard right now.
Yep. Oh, a little bit of contact
Well,
between Bendel and CJ there, who have
the
just
lead
snuck
back
into
from
this battle
Brady.
out of nowhere, haven't they? Well, let's have a look at the gap to the leader. I'm just thinking about where Preheated Oven's going to come out. I said he's going to have a good race tonight. He's probably going to come out around this battle between Ravers and CJ and Bendel, and he'll be on fresh tyres, fresh super soft tyres going to the end, so he could find himself in a good position here tonight.
I mean, if I was Team 12 right now, I'd just be asking if oh no, never mind, he pits. I was going to say, if he doesn't pit for the next couple of laps, just try and hold Chicken Guy up for us as much as you can.
Yeah.
But he's pit anyway, so.
Well, Team 12's had 3 warnings since his last penalty, which is odd.
Hack him.
Chicken Guy's had a penalty and 2 warnings in that last lap, so as far as I can see things, it looks like but for a bottle.
As well. But it's looking like 16 to 17 laps is the limit you can take these softs. I mean, obviously you've got to take into consideration that these guys have to pit and they want to leave themselves with enough time at the end, but you've got to think that is somewhat the limit. So CJ, I think, will definitely be pitting again this race.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm looking at it and I think Preheated Oven could be on for a P4 here. He's on super softs and he's only, how much we're going to say? About 7 to 8 seconds off of 4th. I mean, obviously he's got to get past the drivers as well, but he's got 11 laps on brand new fresh super softs to do it. So a lot to play for. Nothing really happening on track now. Chicken Guy's now 4 seconds behind Tim. And again, we've still got 9 laps. 9 laps to go. 8 laps to go. Anything can happen. But I think we should all keep an eye on Preheated Oven at the moment. Plexus in the chat saying, probably not Dutch, they're not on our Dutchies level. Wow. Okay. That Plexus, that's probably why you haven't got a teammate yet, mate. Just going to throw that out there. Right, CJ has pitted. He's going to be going on to some fresh super softs to take him to the end, and I imagine he's going to come out between City Posh and Bendel, somewhere around that kind of area. So Preheated Oven's moved up to 6th. He's 4.5 seconds off of Ravers and just under 6.5. He's about 6 seconds behind Blue Flag. So I imagine that time's going to come down.
I thought Ravers might have called onto the back of Simon quicker than what he has.
Yeah. Simon's driving very well tonight. It's nice to see him.
There is a reason why he's still up there, and that's because I haven't put a jinx on him and I'm not going to.
Flex it. That made me laugh. Right.
Logitech G29 Dutch. That's
Yeah.
what I use. Not very expensive, but
G29, the T150 as well. That's not a bad wheel.
Depends what your budget is, I guess.
Yeah.
Depends what you find expensive and what other people find expensive.
27 pence.
27 pence. Yeah.
For that, you could probably get a cardboard one for that big iron.
That's literally my budget, so hence why I'm on a controller.
Crest seems to be closing that time down on Chicken Guy, and Tim 12 is absolutely flying.
Yeah, he's pushing like an absolute machine now. He knows promotion is within touching distance, and he just wants to get as far away from everybody else as possible. He needs to be careful though, because if he pushes too much, those tyres will fall off. And around France, with some of these high-speed corners, we do not want dodgy tyres. It could all change very quickly.
Indeed it can. CJ, I'm going to go down to him, closest battle on track. He's just taking a little look up the inside of City Posh in the final. No, it wasn't the final couple of corners, it was at the end of sector 1. Nice little move. Puts himself up to 8. Damage limitation for him. I think he might catch up to Willy Tix come the end, but Preheated Oven is now only 2.5 seconds behind Ravers, who is now in DRS range of Blue Flag. So this could be a nice little way to end the season with this battle. Yeah, Plexits, if you're looking for a teammate, I would recommend Co-Andy. You've seen how consistent he was this season. I think he finished like 6th or 7th in the championship in Div 1. And I would definitely drop him a message, mate, if I was you. That would be my best piece of advice to you. But right, the Ravers Revenge, Blue Flag, no doubt they're in a party together.
Here we go.
I can confirm that they are in a party together.
They are, there we go. Are we going to see one more twist to this championship? Or is this going to be it for all of the drama? We've already had some tonight. Agent Panda asserting his dominance over Goy Carp.
I'd be very surprised if we have a quiet end to this race after the season we've had.
Yeah, exactly. If you're Matt Cause in this situation, you're absolutely gutted. After the season that he's had, he almost deserves to go up, I think. But unfortunately, at the moment, it's looking very, very unlikely.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate.
We've got 6
But,
laps
I mean,
to
it was
go.
in his hands. You know, he's made the mistake.
Yeah, he's got basically an 8-second lead now. Yeah, 8-second lead to the chicken guy.
Keeps running quite wide at turn 2 though, so he needs to be careful with it.
Oh, Ravers is getting close. Pretty Oven's right on the back of him now. I'm going to have a look at the time penalties for these guys. Oh, Cress is really on the back of Chicken Guy as well. So that could be one to watch out
on the
for.
inside of Simon.
Yeah,
No,
it's
he
getting
thinks
close.
better of it.
Right, let's have a quick look at the penalties. Simon has...
Oh, Rivers has had a hell of a run.
Yeah, I was going to say, he got a cracking run out of turn 2.
Yeah, Ravers cut the corner there.
Simon touches him.
A little bit of contact. And again...
Ravens got another time penalty though, so I don't think he'll be finishing 4th.
No, I'm just going to take a look. I want to take a look at these penalties, but I feel like we're going to see more moves now. Yeah, Pretty Oven's right on the back of this now, isn't he? Goes past one. Is he going to get them both? It might be a little bit out of reach.
Ooh.
Nicely done.
And Bendel's overtaken City Posh Blue in the meantime.
Yes, indeed, yeah. CJ's right on the back of Willy Tix. I think that'll be as high as he can go. Pretty Oven does look quick, doesn't he?
Oh, he really lost it out of the chicane.
Right, now I'm going to take a look. So, Ravers has 3 penalties.
CJ's going for the inside again.
Pretty Oven has 1. And Blue Flag has 2. So at the moment, Pretty Oven would come 4th. Blue Flag would come 5th and Ravens would come 6th. Crest now, right on the back of Chicken Guy.
Inside the City Posh. Pretty Oven just overtaking Rivers.
Yeah, he's having a great race so far.
I think we're going to see a move now for 2nd. Here they go.
Go on, Chris. Oh.
Lovely move.
Yeah, nice to see Cress up there. You always want to see drivers pushing. It would be nice to see him win the championship, finishing high.
Oh, there they go, side by side. Crest is... that was close.
He's putting himself in unnecessary risk here.
He is. Oh.
He is, but these two are
move.
mates, so I'm wondering if they're putting it on for the stream.
Yeah, maybe.
Probably. There we go, Chris gets it done. Nice bit of driving from those two. Showing why they're right up there at the top of the championship. And Chris has 4 laps now to hold it together, and then he will be crowned the Division 2 champion. Chicken Guy will be second, Raven's Revenge will be third, and Tim 12 will be fourth. Okay, so that's that done with. Treated Oven has got past Ravers as well. And I imagine we're going to see him pull away now. He's out of Ravers is out of DRS range. So Ravers just needs to find 3 seconds on Simon for those guys to hold position. Otherwise Simon will get him on penalties. Well, it's certainly not been as dramatic as what I thought it might be tonight, but it's certainly had some form of drama involved.
Wouldn't be Div 2 without it.
It wouldn't be. But Tim 12 coming on to start lap 25. He has got 3 laps to hold this together. How's Crest doing for penalties? Let's have a look.
I've not seen his name pop up.
He's got one.
Oh, okay.
I know he picked at least one up early on.
Yeah, he's got one, so it will stay as it is.
Driving really well though, Crest, to be fair to him. He's got past Chicken Guy and now pulled nearly 3.5 second gap.
Well, after the race we'll be hearing from all of the podium sitters, and also from, well, if it stays as it is, which I'm sure it will do now, we'll be joined by Ravers Revenge, who will be the other driver to be promoted to Div 1, and we'll also hear a few words from Blue Flag, the Div 2 admin. So a bit of an extended podium interview, but I think it's fitting after the season that we've had.
Definitely.
And I must say, take this opportunity to say that Blue Flag and Hammer Time have done an amazing job of running this division this season. I mean, this has been the lowest attendance we've had. Normally on average it's been about 17, 18 drivers pretty much every week, apart from the odd time we've had like maybe 15. But they've done an amazing job running the division. Everything's been done perfectly, and I think that's just a credit of how much work they put into it all. You two will know better than anyone else how much work they put in. So just a little bit of recognition to those two for the amazing job that they've done this season. So Team 12 picks up his second time penalty, but not going to affect the final standings. It will mean that Crest will finish 7.1 seconds behind him. So unless he picks up 3 time penalties in the final lap and a half.
All he needs to do now is take it easy.
Doesn't need to push. Must be said for those guys that are watching from Division 1 or Division 2. Remember, as soon as this race finishes, we will be taking in the teammate selections for the new season, and they must be done by the end of Thursday at midnight. So end of Thursday, start of Friday, and then Friday evening we will be doing the team reveals and all of the other information for season 8. Should be an absolute cracker. Here's a question for you. Obviously with not much to talk about at the moment, but how do you think, so say it stays as it is now with Tim 12, Crest, Chicken Guy and Ravers all going up, how do you think those guys will get on? Do you think any of them will struggle? Do you think any of them will exceed expectation? What do you think?
I mean, they're all obviously very quick. I think for the first couple of races, you might see them struggle just to get used to sort of not being towards the front. I mean, for all we know, they might be towards the front, but as we know in Div 1, you know, the Dutch guys are extremely quick, so it might take them, you know, 2-3 races to get used to not winning. But I think after that they'll do fine. They're all quick enough to get points every week. So
Exactly. See, that's the question though. I mean, we already had about 12 or 13 people that were more than capable of getting points every week, and now we've got another 4 more of them. Basically, every single driver in Div 1 next season will be capable of getting points. So
just makes points all that more precious.
It does, but I mean, the way I see things is, we'll come to you in a second, Pagani, about what you think as well, but the way I see things is the first couple of races they shouldn't expect too much, and that's not saying that they can't do it. It's purely down to the fact that Division 1 is so fast and so competitive. Like, if you get one poor run out of a corner, you could lose 2 or 3 positions. It really is that close. But anyway, Tim 12 comes around the final corner. Tim 12 will be a Division 1 driver next season, and that is done after an amazing comeback. He did what he had to do. Brilliant drive from Tim, and we will see Tim in Division 1 next season. So Crest will come home and takes the championship, and Chicken Guy is coming round the final corner to complete today's podium to finish second in the championship. I think that's his 7th of the season. Sorry, no, that's not his 7th because he finished 3rd, but I think he finished 2nd 6 times this season. So if that doesn't scream consistency, I don't know what does. Preheated oven, best ever result in FTRL. Comes home in P4. Blue Flag comes home in P5. Ravers 2 temps behind him in P6, but Blue Flag picked up a 5-second stop go there because he didn't, sort of 5-second penalty for serving an unserved stop go. So that might get flipped around. CJ comes home in 7th. Willie Ticks in 8th. Bendel in 9th. City Posh in 10th, and Agent Panda comes home in 11th. But yeah, Pagani, just while they're finishing off, how do you think they're going to get on next season, mate?
I mean, you can see them slotting straight into the midfield, like around basically where you guys are. I mean, I think the first couple of races, I think they might struggle for some consistency just for the start of it. Besides maybe Chicken Guy, I think Chicken Guy is going to be consistent no matter where you put him.
Yeah.
I think qualifying is going to be the main thing. If they qualify like low end of the top 10, are they going to be struggling strategy wise with tyres? I don't know. It's all up in the air really, but it's going to be an interesting Div 1 next season.
It really, really is. But for the final time this season, we see the podium, the champagne being sprayed, and Tim 12 picks up another race win this season and secures promotion against the odds. Crest comes home in 2nd. Like I said, every single driver getting a penalty other than Goy, who retired pretty early on in the race. But that concludes what has been a fantastic Division 2 in Season 7 of FTRL. And obviously thank you very much to you two, and also to Will for helping out with the commentary and everything else this season. And what we will do now, we will get in the 4 promoted drivers and also the admin for Div 2 FTRL Blue Flag. Yeah, man, just doing that now. Okay, so we'll just wait for the guys to join us.
There we go.
Thank you very much. There we go. So all in a row, they've all joined us. So, right. First of all, obviously we will just go straight into tonight's event. So first of all, coming to you, Tim. Massive congratulations, mate, on the race win. And
Thank you.
with that win, that actually promotes you to Division 1, mate.
Yeah, I really didn't expect that.
No, to be honest with you, I don't think anyone did. Without being horrible towards you, with the fact that Matt Cause was 20 points ahead going into this race, all he had to do was finish 7th.
Yeah, I wasn't hoping for it at all. So.
Yeah, it was a crazy incident what happened to him as well. Really, really strange. You'll see it back on the stream, but it was a really, really weird incident. Yeah, really, really unfortunate to see.
Fault, or?
We're not really too sure, because basically Blue Flag went to go into the pits and Matt Cause was right behind him, and I'm not sure whether Matt Cause was looking to then either go into the pits or just try and get a little bit of slipstream off of Blue Flag before he went in, but he just overcooked it, hit the back of Blue Flag and lost his wheel. Really, really strange. So
I think the speed he went in, he was after some slipstream. There was no way he was making the pit lane.
No, exactly. So, I mean, it's unfortunate to see it end that way, but on the other end, you did what you had to do tonight. So, first of all, how do you feel after that, mate?
Yeah, really good as well with the promotion.
Yeah, exactly. So
I wasn't really looking forward to another season in Division 2, so I'm really happy to go to Div 1.
Well, there we go, mate. So, obviously, it's a massive jump, and we'll get onto that very soon once we speak to all of the promoted drivers. So, we'll just deal with tonight's race first of all, then we'll speak to you all about your promotion. But, I mean, we saw you and Chicken Guy battling really, really closely throughout the first stint, and in the second stint, you just seemed to pull away. What was the kind of reasoning behind that? Was there anything you did or anything you changed?
Yeah, I wasn't really going any faster, but I think Chicken Guy was just taking my DRS in the first stint, and he just didn't manage to do that in the second, and then he just fell away.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but
no, exactly.
Yeah, it was really close. I was expecting you to be more close in the second stint.
Yeah, I mean, we was expecting that because we were obviously thinking after when you come into the pit stop, we were expecting one of you to stay out and one of you to come in and see whether the undercut or the overcut would work. But I mean, did you have any moments tonight? Or was you pretty much in control? Because obviously I know throughout the season you've had a couple of races where you've just kind of maybe lost traction at random times, or you've had a bit of an unfortunate run in a few tracks, but you seem to be in control tonight. Was that the case?
Yeah, I practiced quite a lot, so I knew the track very well. And with the penalties, it was kind of strange with the penalties. I got one in the first stint, and then I got one really late in the second stint. So but then Chicken Guy was like 10 seconds back, so it wasn't that exciting.
Exactly. Well, nevertheless, congratulations. We will come to you guys in more detail in a minute once we've finished off tonight's podium. So, Joe, Pagani, do one of you want to have a chat request, and the other one with Chicken Guy?
Pagani, do you want to wait to interview third?
I'll wait. I'm not usually here. So.
Alright. Right, well, Crest then. Champion. I mean, you can't fault that. I mean, you've been amazing all season. I think, since I've come in and joined, you've not really put a foot wrong. I think you finished 9th in Bahrain, I believe, which was your lowest finish. Points every race. I think nobody can disagree that you're definitely deserved champion. I mean, how was that race for you?
I didn't really get a very good start, and then I just didn't. Then I just kind of got into third, and then in the second stint, Chicken Guy wasn't very quick. I caught him up, overtook him, and that was about it.
So, I mean, I personally mentioned on stream that you might have just been hanging back from the front guys because you didn't necessarily need to win the race. So that wasn't the case. You were just struggling a little bit.
Yeah, I just wasn't very quick on the softs. I just couldn't keep up with them.
Fair enough. But I mean, you did what you needed to do. I mean, going forward, how are you thinking sort of for Div 1? Do you think you're going to struggle, or do you think you're just going to come straight in and slot in?
It might be quite difficult because obviously everyone's a lot quicker, but hopefully I can get into the points quite a bit.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, Div 1 is definitely going to be close. I think, pretty much everyone in the division going on to next season is going to be fighting for points every week, so should be good. But I mean, yeah, congrats anyway, mate. Great season.
Thank you.
So, chicken guy, what? You seem very, very like consistent on the soft tire, even. But like when you switch to the supers, it seemed to trickle off a bit. What happened?
Well, I got off to a fairly decent start. I was just behind Tim, and then behind me there was a bit of a battle going on, so I just opted to just stay in Tim's slipstream, save up my battery and my fuel. I was just cruising really. So I felt the pace on the softs was there. I possibly could have gone for a move. I tried once and then it didn't work, so I thought we'll just stay behind to the pit stops. And then obviously put the supers on, and I don't know what was happening, but I was just cooking the front tyres. They were 108 degrees or something, so just had no front end at all, and it was just like a boat really. You just turn in and nothing happens. So obviously very slow on the supers, but I don't know, possibly setup related, maybe my driving style, I'm not exactly too sure.
Oh, believe me, you don't have to explain tyre temperatures to me. But obviously another podium. I mean, your consistency's been there all season. Are you looking forward to the challenge of Div 1? Are you being confirmed to move up?
Yeah, I think Div 1's going to be pretty decent. Obviously, as Chris said before, everyone's like a lot quicker, and I'm guessing everyone's going to be a lot more like consistent. So for sure, it's going to be tough to do well, but I suppose I'll just be citing maybe points finishes for my first season, and then we'll see how it goes from there.
And just one quick question. Do you reckon you'll still be getting some tips off Dutch now that you'll be in the same division, or do you reckon some rivalry will be setting in there?
Well, I've only had messages off him for the last 2 races of the season, so most of the season I was independent. But obviously, big thanks to Dutch helping me out there.
Don't believe that for a second, but go on.
I don't know. I hope we can stay friends.
But no, nevertheless, well done, mate. So, I think before we come on to all of you, just talk a little bit more about Division 1 and your season and everything like that. There'll only be a few questions for you all, but I think we did get Blue Flag in here, who's obviously the Div 2 admin and been in FTRL since pretty much from day one. So just a few words from you, mate, on this season. I pointed out in the stream that you and Hammer Time have done an amazing job this year and keeping it consistent, keeping it running. If anything, it's been even smoother than Div 1. Obviously, we had a lot more drivers leave than what you did. But yeah, you've kept it nailed down, mate. Just a few words from you on the season.
No, thank you for the recognition. Yeah, I think we've had a really good season. I mean, the fact that all the last promotion places and who was actually going to be champion has all gone down to the last race, I think is, it's testament to the guys that we've had in Div 2 this season. And yeah, it's just been an absolute pleasure and joy to, oversee it all, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you boys have done a great job. With the guys going up, how do you think they will fare?
I don't see no reason why they can't do well in Div 1. I mean, they're all consistent and quick in their own right. So yeah, there's, like I say, there's no reason they should struggle up there.
Exactly. Well, the reason I asked you that was purely on the basis that obviously you've been in here, like I said, pretty much from day one, and you've raced when we was only one division. You saw some of the guys that are in Div 1 and you was racing alongside those every week. Yeah. And obviously now it's gone to 2 divisions, but I mean, you've got a good idea of their pace, so I just thought I would ask your opinion on how you think they're going to get on. But yeah, so but no, like I said, brilliant job from you this season, mate, and I'm hoping that Div 2 is going to be even better next season, if that's even possible. We had drama from the first to the last. So massive congratulations to you on what you've done, mate, and a big thank you as well. I'm sure the rest of the drivers later on will join me in saying that. But right, moving on. Yeah, moving on, we will just go through a chat sort of from descending order, should I say, with the promotion runners, well, with the promotion drivers, if you like, and see what you're thinking about next season. So Tim, just coming to you in a bit more detail. Obviously, one of the main questions that people may ask is, with your inconsistency you had this season, do you think that might affect you in Div 1?
It probably will, but I'm really looking to get sort that out. But
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Because, I mean, the thing is, when you've had a good... I was saying earlier on, when you've had a good race, you've basically either won or you've come like second or something. But the other races, you've sort of either DNF'd or finished sort of really low in the points or outside the points. So there really has been that sort of inconsistency. You haven't really had too many finishes like in the middle of the points. Whereas in Div 1, I think it might be a little bit more unforgiving in terms of, if you have a good race, you still might not be right at the top of the pile, because obviously Dutch and Plexits, Tico and all the others are so fast.
Yeah,
Are you going to put in a lot of practice before the season starts, or are you going to try and go as you have been? What's your kind of view on it all?
I would like to, but I think I will have to return my wheel for it to let it fix. So I don't think that's possible for the practice. But how long will the off season be?
Well, we'll be announcing that on Friday, but I mean, there's going to be a few weeks, because obviously we've got Christmas and New Year coming up and stuff as well. So it's a bit of an awkward time for us, but we will be running a few sort of special events between now and then anyway, just to keep everyone sort of going and whatever. And yeah, but I think now the biggest task is trying to find yourself a teammate for the new season. Obviously you didn't know you was going to be going up, but you've got until the end of Thursday to find yourself a teammate. So you guys will be added into the Div 1 Discord after this, and this is where it then comes down to you to find yourself a teammate. But have you got any aims for next season? Is there anything that you're specifically looking at doing? Is it to finish middle of the table, to just survive? What are you looking to do?
I would definitely like to get at least one win, but I think it's very optimistic. But we'll see. Maybe if I put in a lot of practice on one track, then it will be possible. We'll see. We'll see.
Exactly. Right. Well, nevertheless, massive well done, and we will see you in Div 1 next season, mate. Congratulations.
Yeah, looking forward, man.
Cool. Well, if you boys don't mind, I would like to speak to Ravers, and then I'll let you two discuss with the final with Chicken Guy and then Cress. So, Ravers finishing P3 in the championship, mate. Not the best race for you tonight, but nevertheless still a good points finish. First of all, how's your season been?
Yeah, man, good season. Got some wins. Couple of poles in there. Enjoyed it. Yeah, it's been. If you told, like I said to you the other day, if you told me I still had a chance of winning it on the last race, I'd have beat your hand off at the beginning of the season. So
yeah, exactly. So
yeah. Congrats to Crest as well, man.
Yeah.
Good league win.
Yeah, so I mean, it's been close all season. Obviously, it could only be one winner, and I think all of you at the top, even Tim Tonnerre as well as Matt Cause, obviously missed out, unfortunately, in the final race of the season. But I mean, all of you look like you deserve to win it, in my opinion. Are you gutted you didn't win it, or are you just happy to seal promotion?
Nah, man, it's all like I said before. It was always someone different at the top. So, do you know what I mean? Anyone could have won it, I suppose. But I think we all had a good season. All the top 4 or 5 drivers. No, it was good. It was good fun.
Cool, man. Well, just a couple more questions for you. Obviously, moving up to Div 1, I know we've already spoken about this sort of outside of stream, but what's your kind of aim? Have you got a specific target? Have you got anything in mind for Div 1 next season? What's your kind of aim? What are you looking for?
Just get some points finishes. That's the main thing. I think Chicken Guy said that, so I think that's a good starting point.
and then see what happens. If you can somehow guarantee me a podium, if there's a massive crash, safety car, and I get a penalty advantage on literally everyone in the division, then get a podium from it, then I'll take that.
And this was something we were discussing earlier on. Like, if you look at the Div 1 table, there were some people that were missing out on points finishes this season, for argument's sake. Maybe someone like Remco or even Katamise. I know he had a bit of a break, but even people like Super Gills and, I mean, you know, Ravers, because you've commentated most of the Div 1 season. Like, those guys have been missing out on points, or they've been towards the bottom end of the points. So I think we had maybe about 13, 14 drivers who were sort of hunting for points every single week, and now with you four, that's probably just added to that tally. So I think every single point's going to be precious next season. But I mean, how are you feeling about sort of making the step up in terms of the drivers around you? It's no disrespect to the Div 2 drivers at all, but like I said to you, you know, in our own sort of time, Div 1 is a whole new sort of level. Do you think you're is there anyone that you see as maybe like a direct rival, someone that you're just going to be trying to match all season, or anything like that?
Like you said about the point, some of them not getting any points, and I look at some of those names, like Lennon, for example, a couple of others, and you think, how have they not got any points? They are so quick. So it's going to be not easy at all, but why not relish the challenge?
Exactly. Well, like I said, mate, massive congratulations to you. I think you've been brilliant this season, and you've come on a hell of a lot. I know you was obviously always pretty quick from when you first started with us, but to now be up into Div 1 with the sort of calibre of drivers there, mate, then that's credit to yourself, so well done.
Thank you very much.
Cool. Right, boys, do you want to have a chat with Chicken and Crest just about Div 1? And then we'll wrap this stream up for the last time this season.
Might as well switch it around. Yeah, so Chicken Guy, I mean, we can't obviously ask you much different to what Aaron said, but I mean, going into Div 1, are you just looking for points finishes, or are you going to be ambitious like Ravers and try and go for a podium?
For the majority of the season, just obviously points would be nice, but I'd like to do well around Monaco. I don't know, it's just such an iconic track. I mean, saying this now, it could all go wrong, but I don't know. I just quite like it, but I don't know if I'm fast around it, so we'll have to see. But yeah, Monaco, main target for me, I think.
Well, I 100% guarantee that you'll beat me at Monaco. I swear to God, I won't outscore anyone round there. If I finish, I will be stone dead last, I promise you. So,
To be fair, none on a bicycle can beat you on Monaco.
yeah, that is a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. Sorry, Joe, go on.
You're alright. One more question. I mean, like I say, you can't really ask you much. It's already been asked. But now you're confirmed, who are you thinking of your teammate wise? Got it all decided, or are you
Good question.
you still thinking about?
Good question.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Cass and I are teaming up with good mates and pretty similar on pace, so seems like the obvious choice, really.
Exclusive.
Yeah. Who's going to be number one driver? Because I mean, you know, just
well,
saying.
I'm pretty sure we decided Crest is going to be number one, but that's only because of what you said earlier about causing a bit of controversy if the number 2 drivers beat the number 1. I could do without the pressure.
Fighting talk. Love it.
But yeah.
Oh, it's me. Oh, sorry. I wasn't really paying attention. I do apologise. Chris, as Div 2 champion, do you feel that puts any added pressure on you going into Div 1?
A little bit, to try and beat everyone else that's been promoted with me. And maybe beat some people nearer the back of Division 1.
I mean, most people have like a set target for who they want to beat, and I mean, as the owner of the league, do you reckon you can beat Aaron?
Probably not now. Probably a bit too quick.
Harsh question.
I want to throw out that, like, obviously at you and Chicken are not going to team up. He's obviously said that he wants to beat you. Do you feel that he has the talent to beat you as you're the reigning Div 2 champion?
Depends what track it is. He's quick around some, I'm quick around others. So, yeah.
Cool, right, well, just as a final thing then, so I'm just going to quickly read out the confirmed grid for Division 1 for next season, and I'm sure you boys will cringe with me as much as I'm going to whilst reading this. So we have Dutch, Tico, Plexits, myself, Physics, Panda, Oxox, Joe, Co-Andy, Catamise, Remco, Praga, Super Jill's Pills, Onyx, Bran, Ravers, Chicken, Cress, Tim12 and AZR Reb. So if someone even thinks
Pace.
to ask me, Pace, yeah. if anybody even tries to ask me who I think is going to go down, I will not be able to answer that question, because that is just
Aaron, who's going down next season?
that is just ridiculous pace. But anyway, boys, just a final word from me. Obviously, massive congratulations. You boys have put on nothing but a brilliant show, and the races or the streams wouldn't be nowhere near as good without some of the battles you boys have done. You've been a credit to the league, and massive congratulations to you all. And again, Simon, thank you very much for everything you've done, mate, alongside Tell, and I hope you have a good season next time out. And just from commentary purposes as well, obviously thank you to Joe, to Pagani for tonight, and also to Will for the entirety of the season. And thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you very, very soon for Season 8 of FTRL. And please catch us on Friday evening, where we're going to be doing a live stream for the team reveal with the famous Will. He's going to be returning. So anyway, well done, boys, and thank you all very much for watching. We will see you all next season.